How's it? Welcome to the podcast. You're listening to Green Dog Blitz, hosted by Brian Anderson and Yerban Agobian. Along the way, we'll try to control the line of scrimmage. Good luck on that. And let's get to it, Brian. Oh
Let's do
my.
it.
I mean, yeah, right. Postseason football's upon us. Week 2, if you want to call it that. Wild card weekend is over. It's in the hopper, and now we've got the stage set for the what is it, conference championship weekend, I think it's called, or divisional playoff.
Divisional.
Divisional
Yes,
playoff before we get to the final four. Yes, so it's a good time to be talking about football, isn't it?
it is. And a wild weekend it was. So that's a great name for it as well. And then this sets the stage for, in my opinion, the best weekend in football. And like the division or the conference championship game is better than the Super Bowl as far as football goes. The show, of course, is bigger for the Super Bowl, but yeah, who's going to make it? That's what we'll talk about a little bit. Maybe reflect back a little bit on last week's games. Did you get a chance to watch any of them?
Out of the we did a 6-pack last week because our usual 4-pack. It's playoff now. We're adjusting with the playoffs as it goes. And now, oh my gosh, out of the 4 games and the 6-pack were awesome, right? Great finishes to the last wire. And so that was fun. Also saw on Monday night the standalone game, Ron Rodgers. I think is he no
Mm.
mas, do you think, in the NFL, or is that his last pass was a pick six kind of
It's
deal?
not a good one, that's for sure. I would want to go out like that, but you know, Rodgers marches to the beat of his own drum, so
I saw a
time will
quote to
tell.
I saw a quote today that he said, perhaps one or two teams I would think would be interested. And I'm thinking to myself, this kind of sounds like a retread NFL statement, but yeah, you never know.
I mean, if they're pulling
Um,
old man Rivers off the couch, Rodgers is definitely in the talks
I,
for
it- but
a team.
but bigger news once again. Aaron Rodgers sucking the air out of the room. Bigger news is his head coach, right? Been there what,
Yeah,
18 years,
18
19
years,
something. Is that right? And
something like that.
never losing season. I guess 500 or better, and just like that. And Harbaugh's counterpart, 18 and 19-year tenured coaches, both of them out this season. So that's kind of a talk about shaking the tree.
Yeah, that division's going to look a little bit different next year for sure, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, two competent head coaches if they decide to keep coaching. I heard somebody talking about maybe Tomlin going, into the studio behind the camera. I'm sure what an easy gig that is. I mean, it probably pays just as good or maybe even better than a head coaching job.
Yeah.
So if I were him, maybe I'd take that one. But yeah, those games were fantastic though. Let's talk about them a little bit. Any
Sure.
one game stand out to you the
I
most?
just well, what stood out to me the most result wise was San Francisco winning. And I'm just
Mm.
like, these guys keep winning. They're like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad on air here, Brian, whatever I'm trying to look for metaphor with these guys, but they just keep on winning. And so good for them. Injury, be damned. They don't care. They're just,
I know.
turning along. And
Yeah.
guess what? They've got a division foe they're playing, which they've already played twice this year. They do it every year, so they're not scared. They're not scared at all. And it's like they're playing with house money. Scary.
Yeah. And you talk about keep winning. What about the Bears? I mean, their luck has to run out. This is kind of like the Vikings of a couple of years ago, except they're going farther and they pulled something way out of their hat. Uh, some magic, baby. I was just shocked. And like that comeback was something for the ages. And the Packers have just owned them in the playoffs for years. And the Bears haven't won a playoff game in, I think, 15 years or something like that. It's been a long time. But to come back in that fashion, scored 25 points in the fourth quarter. There was a fourth down and 8 that Caleb Williams, yeah, he's that's right. Oh, your camera goes with it. That's funny. But yeah, he was on his, falling down and just places a perfect pass. You can't script this any differently for Hollywood, baby. So Look out for the Bears. They've got the magic right now, so we'll see if it continues. But that one's the one that stood out to me. Of course, the Jaguars, disappointing that they lost that home game. Chargers, they chargered. They just
We talked about this, and you actually picked them. You believed in them. So
I
I got
know.
picked up one game on you this week. But hey, you know what? We all make bad picks here and there, but you and I
Me
are
too.
consistently above 500, Brian. You and I are, like you said a couple weeks ago, we're officially in the what's that? The executive chair, at least as far as
Yeah,
making picks and all that. So
absolutely. So and then the Texans just steamrolled the Steelers. No surprise there, in my opinion. That defense is formidable.
yeah.
So great stuff, setting the stage for a divisional round. So yeah, we're kind of winging it here today.
I
Just
gotta wing something for you. So if
yeah,
you're doing chicken wings, okay, if you're doing chicken
nice
wings,
segue.
couple, yeah, couple questions.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, as far as the dipping sauce, do you go ranch, blue cheese, or other?
Well, I mean, assuming there's some kind of sauce on there already, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Or
quite
or or not, maybe whatever, or
I'm
dry
either
rub.
nothing or I don't care. I
Okay.
can go ranch or blue cheese. I always let the person I'm with uh make that decision if we're sharing. I don't care.
Nice. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I like it. That was my wing it moment. So there we go.
I
Brought to you
like
by Green
it.
Dog Blitz. We appreciate our listenership, and we're international once again, Brian. We're reaching everywhere. We're in Asia now. We're in Eurasia. We're in Europe. We've talked about that. We're in South America. You know what? And we're continental, of course. That's where we started. But isn't it incredible, Brian? We love it. We love it, all the
It's a beautiful
listeners. So
thing.
thank you. Yeah, it
Yes.
is.
The World Wide Web, baby.
Yep.
All right, let's have some fun here and do a little trivia. What do you say? I've got a few
Yeah.
questions for you, Yervon, and
I'm down.
this is kind of listener friendly. Okay, I think most people might get these, but they're kind of fun. They're kind of factual. So it relates to football. All right, I got five of them for you. So which of these teams owns the most Super Bowl appearances without a win? Of course, Minnesota Vikings are on that list. It's the Bills, the Chargers, or the Broncos.
I know the teams involved. The question, real quick.
Okay, which teams owns the most Super Bowl appearances without a win? So,
Can it be a tie? Can it be between the Bills and the Vikings?
well, as a matter of fact, that is correct. It is the four appearances, zero wins, and that's still one of the most infamous stats. And of course, my purple are in that category. All right, good job. Which franchise has appeared in more NFC championship in more NFC championship games all time than any other team? Is it the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Packers, or the Cowboys?
Ooh, that's a nasty question. I'm just gonna go out there and say Cowboys.
Cowboys is a great guess, but it's incorrect. 49ers, man. One of the most
No
consistent
way.
NFL franchise in league history. And thus goes way back. I remember back in the day with like Jerry Rice playing the Vikings. Man, those were good old days. Joe
Ronnie Lott
Montana.
on defense.
Oh yeah. I mean
Yeah,
like
awesome. And then the guy
Roger
with the high
Craig.
stepping, yep, high stepping knees, Roger
Hmm,
Craig. How about the other side? John Taylor on the other side of Jerry Rice,
sure.
holding his own business, saying, "Hey, well, don't forget about me, brah."
Yeah,
You
he's the
know,
wind beneath his wings, right? I mean, pretty
right?
much.
For
Yeah.
real.
So right. All
Nice.
right. Moving on. The Texans became an NFL franchise in which year? Was it 1999, 2000, 2002, or 2004?
It's got to be one of the first couple. Let's go with 99. 99.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Oh,
2002. Yeah,
no
they're
way.
they're they're a new millennial team. So one of the league's
Okay.
youngest teams, and I believe there was a stat that I heard that they had were like the only team that never win a road game up until, of course, last weekend. That's
Nice.
an NFL playoff game. All right, two more, three more, two more. The Rams have won Super Bowls representing which cities?
Mhm.
L.A., St. Louis, Cleveland, and Los Angeles, or St. Louis and Los Angeles?
All three.
All three? Oh, no, that is incorrect. That's not even a choice. I
The
give you that
Super
as
Bowl. You said
they didn't.
Cleveland, right? They
Yeah.
so we won it before the leagues came together. The AFC and NFC, they won championships in Cleveland.
Well, maybe it wasn't a Super Bowl
They
then.
won, but they won a Super Bowl in St. Okay, so the question, I guess the answer is St. Louis and LA.
That's correct. At least that's the answer I have in front of me. So okay,
Yeah, I'll
you
go
can
with
check
it.
those
All right.
stats. And then finally, this is a good interesting one. So, well, do you know, first of all, do you know where the Super Bowl will be held this year?
Yes, I believe in the San Jose area near my neck of the woods, which I say San Jose because it's in Santa Clara, which
Hmm.
is in Santa Clara County, which is south, closer to San Jose than San Francisco itself. So you can fly into the San Francisco or Oakland airport, but you better drive about an hour and a half south to get to the Super Bowl.
Wow. All right. Good stat. Which of these franchises have never hosted a Super Bowl? Chicago, Dallas, Miami, or Minnesota?
Chicago?
Chicago is correct.
Nice.
Cold weather, open air stadium equals no Super Bowl.
And
Uh,
on a side note, not to cut you off on your questions here real quick, on a side note, I guess they just cut a deal, or they're starting to cut deals. You know better than me, you're in the Midwest up there. If not, we can talk about it next time we talk about it, if we do. And they're getting a dome built, right? Somewhere,
in
a stadium
Chicago?
out, yeah, outside of Chicago, maybe, or maybe
Well, they've
not.
been talking about it for a long time, yeah, but I don't know what they've settled on
Oh,
quite
come
yet.
on,
But
Brian. I
yeah,
thought you were on the heartbeat of the Chicago news. Come on, where are you at? I'm just joking.
yeah. No,
All right,
no, no, my fingers on the Minneapolis Pulse.
there it is.
So yeah, which is interesting because that's a great location. I have been to Soldier Field a few times, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
Road
they're gonna
trip.
bail,
I know
probably.
they're right on the lakefront there,
Are
and
you kidding me? Right?
it is
I just
chilly,
right. Oh, use it to your advantage. This is the
right?
deal. I mean, I know you understood. Vikings were always a dome there for a while, but they did that nice little, what is it, a glass deal, right? And then you can
Yep.
open up or you can't. Or
Open
is
the
it
doors, the front doors they open up, but not the
okay?
top.
So that works, right? Just
Mhm.
it needs some little elements.
Yeah.
And so I think that's cool, you know, but the whole dome thing is just I'm over it. And I think like Cleveland's trying to do it. All these stadium, Kansas City is going to move next door out of Missouri officially and go to
Hmm.
Kansas State and build a dome stadium. It's like, come on, guys, you're getting greedy. Whatever. So, side note,
Well,
go ahead.
and Buffalo's building a new stadium too. Are they? Is that a
They're going
retractable?
outdoors. Now, I think they're
Okay.
going outdoors. I love it.
Yeah,
Right?
and they should.
The mafia,
Yeah.
baby. I
Right.
mean, they just
Yeah.
do it right up there. Use it to your advantage, you
Yes.
know?
A hundred
I
percent. I
mean,
agree.
yeah,
So
use your strengths.
yeah.
All right, moving on. And we were talking about making some picks here. It's only what, 4 games left? Is that right, Brian?
Hmm.
Um, before we get down to it. So we're getting down to it, looking at notes real quick, make sure we got anything else to talk about. No respect segment, really quick.
Well, that's the story of my life. No respect.
No respect segment. Chicago Bears. 4 games left. Nice segue, Garavon. They're the only home underdog this week, Bry, in the
Ah,
divisional round of the 4 playoff games that are being played. They're the only home true dog. You know how I feel about that. Home true dog, meaning they're actually an underdog and they're at home. So they're an actual true home dog. I mean, they only won. And this is the playoffs, the best. Who's hosting left, right? The higher seed is supposed to be at home, but now the higher seed is getting disrespected. That being
yeah.
said, if you remember, we LA Rams were disrespecting Carolina, which was the home dog last week. We both took the Rams and we won in actual reality, but in Vegas we lost because they didn't cover the 10.5. They only won by 7. And we talked about how big a double-digit spread is in the playoffs, and we should have known better.
We
So
should have.
next year we'll be smarter.
We still have time this year. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, that's interesting. Um, and then I also saw another stat here that it's rare for a number one seed coming out of a bye to be underdogs. It's only happened 3 times in the last 40 years. Um, so I don't know. Is there one that's an underdog this week? No, no, must not be. but just seeing how rare that is. But yeah,
right?
to be an underdog at home, talk about the elements, Chicago and like in LA, you know, dome stadium. These guys aren't used to the elements, and I don't know. So we'll see when we do their picks,
But here's
what
what
we
I think,
decide.
Brian. Couple questions. Let's say this half this team that's playing for the Rams, or pick Miami if they were in the playoffs. Insert any warm weather stadium team or city and franchise, and say, "Hey, are you not used to the cold?" Because half the team could be from Detroit for all we know. They're just representing the franchise they play for. You know what I mean?
I
They
know.
could be
I've always
used
thought
to
that's
cold
silly.
weather.
I agree.
But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
We don't know. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
don't know. So the hungrier team always wants it, right?
That's true.
I
That's
love
true.
it.
But I mean, these guys who are home have play half their season outside, so that's a
Sure.
given. So they may
Yeah.
be more used to it. But all right, well, let's get down to it. What do you
Okay.
say?
How about, yeah, I do. Last weekend though, really quick before we do, just want to say we made a six pack for the wild card weekend. According to my math, you went 500. You went 3, 4, 6, and I
That's
went
right.
four for
Yep,
and I went 4 for 6.
that's correct.
So
That is
I
correct.
this is just but you won the overall, just so we're clear, everybody. I don't want to be a glory hog here. Overall 18 weeks with the bye week, 17 you against the spread. Both of us, you edged me out, but we were both about 500, but you beat me. Nice job, Brian. Regular season,
Yeah,
but now it's the postseason. I'm one up on you. So here we go.
that
We'll
this
make
is
some
when it
new
matters,
picks.
I guess, right?
Yeah. This is where the are you ready to Christmas and stack a 4 pack, baby? It's a true 4 pack. It's us against Vegas. This is a long time of Green Dog Blitz style. All right, Brian. What are we thinking? You want to start me off with the first game and any ideas or predictions?
All right. So we've got. I'm looking at notes here too. We've got.
Sure.
I
Same.
don't see the updated notes here. So help
We
me
got
out.
Bills and Broncos starting off.
Okay.
Bills at Denver. So we got another. Bills just came off a win on the road, I believe, against Jacksonville. Now they're going to the Broncos, who've been sitting around for a week on a bye. And Denver is favored by minus 1.5. So it's basically a pick 'em, but
Um. Yeah. Here's the deal. I think these guys.
it always
These
makes me nervous
guys.
when somebody says that. Here we go. Yeah.
It's hard to like, even though they're a number one seed, right? I mean, they're the Broncos and they have a young quarterback and we're just not used to them being in this position. And I think in that way, you think that they're probably maybe not good enough to hold up, but they've also got Sean Payton as their head coach, who obviously knows what he's doing, and they're well rested. They're a mile high elevation. That's another element that comes into play. And the Bills are banged up. I mean, the Bills have been there, but the Bills. This is the first time they don't have Kansas City in their way, and it's a different route that they're taking. But I still think Denver's going to win. Yep. I'm taking Denver. They're going to win the game outright, but they're also going to win by more than a point and a half. So that's
Okay.
my pick, baby.
I like it. Okay. I'm going opposite. I was going that way the whole way. I'm going Bills. I really am. I'm looking at my ESPN predictor, which doesn't predict much, but analytics people, which I'm trying to jump on board with, is 48.4% for the Bills to win and 51.6% for Denver to win. So it's razor thin. Give me that razor thin edge of a mistake by the Bills or Broncos who've been sitting around for a week, getting lazy and hanging out, watching who they're going to play and talking about it, but not playing. And the Bills just got all emotional and won a big game on the road and showed them who that and the AFC and what they're doing. And so let's see what happens. Give me Bills.
I guarantee they're not getting lazy. But that's a good take. All right. The second game on Saturday
I'm
is
trying to sell it, Brian. I'm trying
I
to
know,
sell
I
it.
know, I know. I like it. Um, you might be right. The 49ers traveling to Seattle, where the Seahawks are a 7-point favorite. And maybe rightfully so. Another division rival. I think when you get to division rival, just like the Bears and the Packers last week and whoever else, you just never know, right? It's just a crapshoot in a lot of ways. Um, Seahawks again have rested. They've got some Sam Darnold. Talk about wild card. The 49ers keep finding a way to eke out wins. I think they're one of the best coached teams in the league. They're banged up. Kittle's gone. Who knows who else? But all season long they've been playing injured, so I don't think that's anything new to them. I was going to ask you what you thought, but I'm just keep rolling on this, man. I just can't stop talking right now. Um, 49ers my pick to win the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a tough road, but I picked them early on, so I got to roll with them.
Brian, staying with it. I like it. Not getting detered, thrown off course by a big pothole, getting thrown off, rolling your truck, getting a new transmission. He's like, get me back in there. I'm staying with him. I like it.
Nice.
This is where the rubber and the road meet, and this is where the Seahawks um, prevail and the 49ers don't. If that's my terminology correctly. This is where it's over for the 49ers. I'm sorry. It's been a good story. It's been a great story. They are just bending and they're going to finally break at this point. Seahawks, I think, bet the house. This is my lock of the week by more than a touchdown, no problem. They go 7.5, 8 makes me nervous. 8.5, stay away. But if it's going to be 7 or under, yeah, at least take the push or take it. I really think the Niners are going to break, and they've just been hanging on all season. But once again, Brian, it's throw out the key, lock the door, and walk away. It's a division rival game. You never know. So it kind of makes me nervous saying that, but I'm confident in the Seahawks. -7. Give it to me.
It's a safe bet, given the circumstances, but we'll see. Not only do you have to win, you got to get 7 points. So good luck with that. Um, all right, I like it. Lock of the week. I'm not sure if I have a lock of the week, but if I did, it
It's
might be
coming up
this.
one of these next two games.
It's got to be
We only got
right.
two left.
I,
We
I
got
I
two left.
know. I'm gonna have to say maybe it's this game right here, the Texans versus the Patriots.
Mhm.
Before I tell you my pick, what do you got?
Oh, wow. This is going to be a doozy. At New England, -3.5. Um, Texans got a chip on their shoulder. They did not win their division. I believe Jacksonville did. Is that correct, Bry?
Yep.
And they
Yep.
lost. And so they represent the AFC South. And I think one of only four teams in the entire NFL that has never played in a Super Bowl. Is this the year the Texans step up and get in? Well, they got to get by the Patriots, and I doubt it in New England, but I just can't say it because there's no history of it, Brian. That's my problem. There's so much history of the Patriots doing something, and Vrabel feels like he's on a roll with this team. And by the way, the quarterback seems pretty competent, and they got some nice pieces to play around him. So I'm talking myself out of this, but the Texans have the best defense in the NFL. I believe defense win championships. We're about to find out. I don't know, Brian. Give me the Texans. They're hanging by a field goal. I don't know if they're going to win, but they'll hang in by a field goal. That hook is on the other side for me now. 3.5. Give me that within a field goal. Texans
Oh, it's a
minus plus.
3.5. There is a hook,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I just saw it updated. New England -3.5. So I'm giving the Texans. I'll give me +3.5 Texans.
All right. I like it. I like it. I like hearing your thought process live. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think you're right. Houston got such a crazy defense. They're a little banged up on offense, but I think they've still got the weapons. CJ Stroud looked horrible last week. So if they could still win last week, against the Steelers, that's not that hard of an opponent, I don't think. At least last week it wasn't.
Right.
So, oh man, I kind of had forgotten about that. But uh, maybe it's not a lock. But I agree with you. I do. I think that the Patriots are really good. Vrabel's awesome, doing a great job with this. But this is where the victory march ends for the Patriots, and I will also
Oh,
go with Houston.
no way.
Yeah,
Wow, Brian.
lock it in,
You
baby.
you
All
kidding me?
right.
All right.
Our
Wow.
Our final game of the divisional round is your Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah,
Nice. I see
baby.
you donning the hat right there
Yep.
against the Bears.
Yep.
Um, the Bears, I don't
This
know.
is
I think I took the first two. You can take the first two, last two. Lead
all of a
off.
sudden we were talking about the no respect segment, right? Um, Now all of a sudden the Bears are +1. I'm looking, you know, see that?
No, it's moved,
Uh,
huh?
yeah, crazy. All right. And we're recording this so everybody knows on Tuesday night, Bird of the Midnight.
Wednesday.
You Sorry, Brian. I thought I was in Iceland and you were in America. Back to where we were at. We're Wednesday night, PM, baby. Green Dog Blitz. Thanks for your listenership. Burning the Midnight Oil or morning time, top of the morning to where you, wherever you're at. Here we go. Let's go. And we could also if you want to look at our ugly mugs, we're on YouTube. Is that correct, Brian?
Yes, we are. Yeah. It's
Yep.
worth a look.
Yep. It's
Tune
worth a
in.
look.
Search Green
I
Dog
like it.
Blitz. You'll find us.
There it is. Everybody does one way or another. How we go? I just got to say I'm a homer. You know, I'm going for the Rams. +1. That makes me nervous. 60% chance that the Rams are going to win, according to ESPN Analytics, and 40% chance the Bears. So another coin toss. I'm just going all Rams. Puka Nacua, Stafford. They kind of toyed last week with Carolina and almost got burned because of it, like a cat board. They got to come out there and just start firing and get this thing over with. Or if not, it's going to be a dogfight. And the Bears are inspired right now. But when does the pendulum swing the other way for the Bears and it finally crumbles this last minute magic? But we'll see. So give me the Rams.
All right. Betting with your heart a little bit, I
Oh,
think.
yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Over the brain.
Yeah. Well, and they've got the most likely MVP candidate. I don't know if he's the most likely, but in Matthew Stafford, the only quarterback remaining in the playoffs who's been in the Super Bowl and won it. Maybe not been in it, but probably. But certainly is who only quarterback to win.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's something there, experience it might play a part. You're right. I mean, they do have weapons like crazy. They're good on both sides of the ball. The Bears, they're always just the cardiac comeback kids, right? And will they have enough in them? I bet it's going to be cold in Chicago this weekend. I know it's going to be cold up here in Minnesota. And that's going to factor in too. This is such a close game. I can't go for the Rams, whether or not I think they will. It's just too close. And I think that, the Bears have too many plays up their sleeve, and they are home dogs, underdogs, no respect, baby. Show them respect. Give me the Bears.
Right.
All right.
I like it.
There we go. All right. Well, we only agreed on the Houston Patriots game. Everything else was opposite. So
okay. And our listeners should know we're pretty steady Eddie. We're above 500, baby. Jump along.
Jump along, baby. All right.
Yeah, but just don't go above your pay scale. That's my only thing.
Yes,
besides
that's
that,
great advice.
All right. Yeah, right. Anything else before we sign off, Brian? We missed or we forgotten? I got one. Blake's take. Sorry. Let me look it up real quick. I got 2 seconds. It was a great proprietary stat like we always do. And Blake said, ready for this? The Steelers 0-7 in the last 7 playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
And they've trailed by 21 plus points. They've trailed by 21 plus points in all 7 of those games. Ready for that stat? Wow. And another side note, he predicts Aaron Rodgers' final pass of his career ends up being the pick 6 he threw. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Who knows? But we know that the head coach is gone, and we'll see what happens. But that was.
So do you think Tomlin?
Anything else? I think we're. All
do you think
good.
Tomlin decided to, or maybe he was given a little warning that he went out on his terms instead of getting fired?
You know what?
Maybe so.
I'm not privy to the pillow talk or the backdoor talk or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? But it could go both ways. I like to think that he went out on his own terms, saying like instead of getting writing on the wall, maybe he smelt it, saw it, whatever. But I have a question for you, Brian. Does John Harbaugh get fired if his kicker made that 3-point kick to beat Pittsburgh and make the playoffs? Would he be fired right now in Baltimore?
Well, no, because he'd be playing. So
right.
So I mean, yeah.
What a fickle business, huh? After 19 years, a 3-point kick settles his fate. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I mean, they did have a tough season, but they were riddled with injuries. I think it's really interesting too. Yeah, it's an interesting point. So
right.
Yeah.
But all right, take me away. We're starting to get deep in the spiral here, baby. It was nice to talk to you, Brian. I don't know if we'll be back next week. We might be busy. We might not. If not, we'll try and hook up on Super Bowl regardless and take it from there, right? And we're not interested in the Super Bowl. I'm not. I mean, Pro Bowl. I'm not interested in the Pro Bowl. Are you?
No, not really. No. But we can make fun of it and do it like on that, or we can prognosticate about the Super Bowl. But either way, check your subscribe to us, because then you get the ping that we got a new episode. And around the world, we want to say gracias. We want to say thank you. Dankeschön. All the ways to say thank you for listening to us. It's a way to bring us all together, and hopefully you enjoyed the podcast and listening to us, and hopefully you enjoy the picks, and hopefully maybe we can help you along the way. What you got, Yuri? One last thing? You good?
Nope.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. You've been listening to Green Dog Blitz with Anderson and Agobian. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you one of these weeks.